Hey guys, today we're going to be going over session 1 of lesson 24, and that's dividing unit fractions and word problems. So if you could, go ahead and have out your daily math, day 12, and page 471 open in your workbook. We're going to be going through both first daily math, and then we will move on to our workbook. All right, so looking at daily math for the day. Now, number 1 is right what we're going over, 5 divided by a half. Looking at this problem, we know since the first number or the dividend is a whole number, we know that our answer is going to be a whole number, especially since we're dividing by a unit fraction. The answer says show the answer using this model, and this is the exact same model that I like to use here. So we're going to divide each one of them by half. We're going to count how many pieces there are. There are 10, and this follows all of our rules. So 5 divided by a half is 10. If I change this to multiply 2 over 1, 5 times 2 is 10 over 1, which is also the same as 1. Going over to number 2, remember anytime that we want to compare two fractions, make sure they have the same denominator first. Secondly, make sure they're in the same form. Here we have a fraction greater than 1, and here we have a mixed number. So let's go ahead and change either one. I don't care which one. I'm going to change 3 3/4 to a fraction greater than 1. So 3 times 4 is 12, plus 3 is 15. Keep my same denominator. So 15 over 4. So 16 over 4 is going to be greater. Let's find the volume here. This box will hold 3 layers of cubes. Each cube equals 1 cubic centimeter. Write the volume of this box in cubic centimeters. I am first looking for my base, which is going to be a 2 by 2 centimeters. Well, 2 by 2 is 4, which means my base layer here has 4. I've got to try to figure out now how many more blocks can I fit on top of that. I'm going to say there's 2 more, which means there's 3 layers. So if I have 4 layers here, and another layer of 4, and another layer of 4. Well, 4, 8, 12. My answer is going to be 12 centimeters cubed, or 12 cubic centimeters. Moving on to number 4. Some fractions, name whole numbers, write the missing fractions. So we go 0, 1 over 2, 2 over 2, 3 over 2, 4 over 2, which is also the same as 4 divided by 2, which equals 12, 5 over 2, 6 over 2, 6 divided by 2 is 3, 7 over 2, and then 8 over 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And then looking at that, same thing I just kind of went over. 4 divided by 2 is 2, 6 divided by 2 is 3, 8 divided by 2 is 4. All right, guys, that is all of that. So let's go ahead. Let me see here. On your whiteboard, I want you to try to complete this model. Now, what they've done is they have broken this down into 2 wholes. What you have to do is take 2 divided by 1/5. So we need to essentially break each one down into 5s. Okay, so go ahead and break each one down into 5s. Go ahead and draw that on your whiteboards, do it, and pause the video and resume it when done, and we'll check it together. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and check this one together. All they're asking me to do here is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So all they're asking me to do is break each one into 5 pieces, and then how much is each piece. So essentially, how much is this piece right here? So looking at it, that piece would equal 1/10. Or if we want to do 2 divided by 1/5, we know automatically that our answer is going to be a whole number because our dividend is a whole number. Or I could take this, do the opposite division, which is multiplication, take the opposite of 1/5, which is 5 over 1, and I get 10 over 1, or 10. So my answer is going to be 10. So up here, each part is 10, but how many parts do I have? I have 10 total parts. All right, in your workbooks, let's go ahead and turn and look at this question. I'm going to read it, and I want you guys to try to do it, and then we will come back and check it together. So Micah is running a 6-mile race. There are water stops every 1/2 mile, and at the 6-mile finish line. How many water stops are there in all? Use a visual model to show your solution. One more time. Micah is running a 6-mile race. There are water stops every 1/2 mile. At the end, and at the 6-mile finish line. How many water stops are there in all? Use a visual model to show your solution. Go ahead and do that. Once you are done, go and resume the video and you guys can check your answers. I'm going to try to show a couple different models. So go ahead and pause the video, do the work, and then we will come back to it. All right, so let's see how you guys did. First of all, let's figure out what the question is we're trying to answer. And I have a 6 mile race, and it's going to be broken into 1/2 pieces. So that's going to be 6 divided by 1/2. So I already know my answer is going to be a whole number just by looking at the dividend here. So 6 divided by 1/2. So what I like to do is we can do this in a couple different ways. We can take 6 circles, divide them all in halves. How many pieces do I have? Well, I have 12. Or what they're going to ask you to do today is they're going to ask you to do a number line. I'm going to start at 0, end at 6. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, so if I have 6 miles, that's represented here by the number line. I have 6. There are water stops every 1/2 mile and at the 6 mile finish line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put stars at every 1/2 mile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now let's make sure it fits everything that they said. So there are water stops every 1/2 mile, which I did, and at the 6 mile finish line, and there is one there. So now you go back and count your stars 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So both of these equal 12. Now, they asked for visual model. That's why we did that. But if you just want to do the old school version, 6, take the reciprocal there. I'm going to get 12 over 1 or 12. All right, so let's go ahead and finish. How many stops are there in all? I'll explain how you can use a number line. I've already done that. If you need to go back and watch that again, please do. We're going to go and skip number 2 here, and we're going to go to number 3. And I do want you guys to do this. So I want you to explain to me what it means to divide 5 by 1/3 or 5 divided by 1/3. Same thing. Okay, so same thing. Divide 5 by 1/3 or 5 divided by 1/3. What does that mean to do that? So go ahead and do that. Pause the video, come back, and I will kind of explain it to you guys. All right, so let's look at this. So what does it mean to divide 5 by 1/3? So I'm going to take 5 pieces, my normal circles, like I like to do. I have 5 of them. I'm going to break each. Oh, I apologize for that. Break each one into thirds. Essentially, I have 5 pieces. I'm going to break each into thirds, and I've got to count how many third pieces I have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So essentially, I am taking 5 whole pieces. I'm dividing each piece into thirds or into 3 to find my answer. So instead of saying 5 divided by 1/3, I could technically say 5 times 3. Same thing. Remember, I took the opposite of division. I take the opposite of 1/3. All right, so here's what you guys have for today for me. You're going to answer questions 2 and 3. You're going to draw a fraction model to show 4 divided by 1/2. That's the same type of model I do. Okay, so 4 wholes divided by halves, however you want to do that, you can. Squares, rectangles, circles, you can do all those things. You're going to do number 2. You're also going to do number 3. Adela has a ribbon that is 2 yards long. She cuts the ribbon into pieces that are 1/4 yard long. How many pieces of ribbon are there in all? Use a visual model to show your solution. So I want you guys to go back, do numbers 2 and 3, come back to this video, and let's check our answers. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and check our answers here, guys. And this time I'm going to do squares. Normally I do circles. Let's do squares. I have 4 pieces. I'm going to divide each of them by halves. And just to be different, I'm going to go sideways there. Now I'm counting. How many halves do I have? I'm going to have 8, or I can just do the old school way here. So I have 4 divided by half. I'm going to take the opposite of division and the opposite of 1 over 2. And I'm going to get 8 over 1, which is the same as 8 as my answer. All right, on number 2, Adela has a ribbon that is 2 yards long. She cuts that ribbon into pieces that are 1/4 yard long. So she's dividing it into pieces that are 1/4. How many pieces of ribbon are there in all? I'm going to do a different visual model here for you guys. Here's my ribbon. I'm going to break that into 2 pieces, right? So I have, what is that, 2 yards 2 yards of ribbon. Now, each yard I'm going to break into fourths. So how many pieces of ribbon do I now have? Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pieces of ribbon. All right, guys, that is it essentially for this lesson today. It's not too terribly difficult. Again, the word problems aren't hard. It's just what do they want us to do with it? That's what we have to continue to learn how to differentiate. What do they want us to do? The math is the easy part for us. So let's go ahead and continue on. Here's what you have for the day, and your sub today is expecting you to be able to do this. So I'm going to go over it real quick. You should have already done this. That's done. You're now watching this video here. You have now finished your workbook pages. So now what I have for you is I have a teacher assigned lesson. This lesson does count as minutes. It does count as a lesson pass. So please take full advantage of that. Make sure you complete it. If you do not complete this, it is homework. It needs to be completed by tomorrow. I will be checking that. Once you finish, you have daily math day 13. If you finish all of that, if you do finish everything you need to for today, I do have a dividing fractions practice. Again, this is all on your Canvas page. Click on the link. It'll take you there. Moby Max Math Facts and 45 minutes of iReady My Path. That is all that I have for you guys for this session. Please make sure if you need to go back and watch this video, do it. If there's anything you're confused about, go back to that part. That is it for me today. You guys have a good day. I'll see you soon.